And welcome into another edition of the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. He's eventually either going to get it
every time,
or you're just going to sit. You're just going to sit there and look at me.
You ever see those westerns where it's like draw?
I thought eventually he's just going to bring it in, Chris, but eventually,
no.
I guess he's going to sit there and.
I'm calling your bluff.
Well, it's the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show getting off to a rocky start. As always, this Big Rich, you could
rocky start.
Ruffle him up. He's fired up. He's saying he wants to fire some people around here. You're going to tune in right now. Big Rich is calling for people to get fired. He's going on hot take spurt.
It's about accountability. You do your job.
And because this 49ers won tonight, you can't tell him nothing. So watch out, coaches. He's coming for you. No, in all seriousness, though, we are presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet, GMC, Coca-Cola, Houston Clinic. Thank you so much for all those who have tuned in and being a part of what we are doing here on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. Another great week last week, Big Rich. Several basketball games we were able to cover, 2 wrestling matches, and just overall great week broadcasting around the Chattahoochee Valley area. Glad that we were able to do that, Richard, and had a lot of fun in doing it.
Yeah, that's what we do here at Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Another fantastic basketball matchups, and we just continue giving you the content that you want to see, all the local teams in action. I tell you what, we've had some near upsets. We had some teams that we thought were going to be really good, and they've kind of disappointed. But we've also had some fantastic finishes. We've had some teams that have come back from large deficits, unlike the Philadelphia Eagles tonight. But, yeah, it's been a great week in high school basketball.
All right, well, we're going to talk about all the games that we were able to cover this past week here in just a little bit. We also got the rankings we're going to be dropping, Rich.
Yes, sir.
Who moved, who didn't. We also are going to be showing you a trailer of the new segment, part of Georgia Alabama Sports Live, called Forge in the Valley with Mike Frost.
Nice.
Can't wait to watch and drop that as well. We'll talk about where we're going to be this week. Columbus State men's and women's basketball update. Also, we'll get an update about the River Dragons, Rich.
Yep.
You have that you're excited about. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got a great show in store for you. Leave a comment below, share, like, subscribe. In the Colin Scroggins 2 new studios, it's the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. Don't go anywhere.
At Glenn Smith Chevrolet, let's kick off 2026 with a bang. We will not be undersold. Powerful full-size Chevy Silverados up to $13,750 off. Rugged mid-size Chevy Colorados up to $9,000 off. Enjoy no payments until springtime. At your lowest price guaranteed today. Smart people from all over the USA come to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Get ready to smile.
What's up, everyone? Thrift Behringer here with Masterwall CEO Steve Smithwick. They're one of our first sponsors. We didn't even know what sponsors were 4 years ago when I was doing this off my phone. Thank you so much, Steve, for your support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Oh, it's something that was needed for so long in the Valley, and me with my history of being a coach and all. Love to support it. You do a great job with that. Even when you were doing it on your phone, it was great.
I appreciate it, man. And again, we wouldn't be able to cover the 50 different high schools and all the different sports without Masterwall and different businesses like yourself. But you're also a coach and now an award-winning author. We have Believer, Bulldog, and Coach. You can get on Amazon right now. You were the winningest basketball coach in Calvary history. What was the mindset behind writing this book?
Well, it's, I kind of treated it as a ministry, and I treat our business as a ministry. I loved what I did as a coach, working with those young guys and trying to set an example and point them in the right direction, and kind of do the same thing with business. So, you got to build it with a lot of good people around you, the right support group, and once again, I call it a ministry because that's the way I see it.
You can get this award-winning book right now on Amazon, and it's going to tell the whole story of C. Smithwick from being an award-winning coach and a Hall of Famer and having the court named after him and then building this incredible business. I can't wait to dive into it, Coach.
Good. Hope you enjoy it. It's about never giving up. So that's what a coach needs to know. It's what an entrepreneur needs to know.
The name of it is Believer, Bulldog Coach, right now on Amazon. And thank you again to C. Smithwick and Maxwell for their support of Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Thanks for having me.
your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Carol Purdue in Phoenix City today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For the big, for the small, the short, and the tall. Peacemakers, risk takers. For the optimists, pessimists, exhibitionists. For long distance love. For the farsighted, nearsighted. For introverts and extroverts. For the thinkers and the doers. For old friends. Coca-Cola. For everyone.
Welcome back, everyone. Rich, last week we had several big region games. We saw Pacelli win 3 games last week, including dominating Calvary by 30. That was pretty impressive. Carver and Shaw boys were leading Carver at the half. You were there for that. Yeah. I was excited to see Spencer at Shaw. Spencer going on the road and winning at Shaw. That Spencer boys team I was impressed by. Calvary picking up a win and bouncing back over Westfield. Carver dominating Spencer. Some of those are some of the things that really have stood out for me. Hardaway staying undefeated in region play. They got Sumter County and Carver coming up. So looking forward to seeing what's going to happen. Rich, what are some of the other games that kind of stood out to you last week?
Well, Glenwood played Russell County really tough. The Glenwood girls, actually, that was a one-possession game with a minute left to go. And the Glenwood boys were in a competitive game with Russell County. I thought that was a pretty good showing for Glenwood playing Russell County for the first time in school history in basketball. Was glad that I was able to be there. It was an incredible environment. The fans were just outstanding. Just looking at the schedule, obviously we had a very busy Friday with Pacelli Brookstone Wrestling. You were at Spencer Shaw. We had Mike at Calvary Westfield. Saturday, we had a bonus game. We actually were at Kendrick and did Sumter County Kendrick, and then we packed up our equipment and headed to that school on the hill.
We did 2 of them,
and did Carver Spencer. And then, of course, Manchester was taking on Harris County, part of rivalry week. And then I was kind of scoreboard watching, kind of seeing some of the other teams from around the area and seeing how they were doing. And obviously, we had a bunch of teams that were in action on Friday and Saturday, including Columbus taking on Jordan. Shaw took on Hardaway. It was just a very busy night in and around the Chattahoochee Valley. But it was a good night. And, Smith Station lost to Opelika. Yeah. So that was actually at Opelika.
All right. So let's do what we everybody likes, which is those rankings.
All right.
Let's throw up the girls. Rich, I'll let you take the floor. We'll start with 10.
Well, thank you. All right, starting with number 10, Brookstone. The Brookstone Lady Cougars, they got a big region game against Calvary on Tuesday. Number 9 is going to be the Shaw Lady Raiders. They lost to Carver. They did beat Spencer, but they lost to Hardaway on Saturday. Northside getting a big win over Central Carrollton. They are 7-7. Glenwood 10-11, but they did lose to Russell County. They will play Dadeville tomorrow, and then Beulah, and that's 7-10.
Yeah. All right. So you tell me right now what stands out to you the most, Rich.
Well, Glenwood, despite their record, played Russell County very tough, the number one team in our rankings. That's a team to watch out for. Spencer, they were our team that is going to be a borderline playoff team. They were able, they did lose a couple of games to Carver and to Shaw, but I think that, Spencer's going to bounce back. I do like Northside, just right now 7-7. They do have some tough games, including against Harris County and Stars Mill. And I think that the Shaw Lady Raiders, despite their 5-8 record, I mean, the thing is they've had a tough schedule, and they've played, Carver tough. They were able to get a win over Spencer, and they played Hardaway tough, and that was actually a game that Hardaway only won by 12. Shaw is gonna have some opponents they feel that they should get some wins. So I think that the ranking so far is going to say the same, because the teams on the outside, who you going to put in? I mean, you have teams that they have not been tested, and their record doesn't reflect the type of season they're having.
Yeah, Hardaway's got some big games coming up this week, including Carver. So ready to see them taking on the Carver Tigers on Tuesday. That should be a lot of fun. Pacelli comes in number 2, and then Russell County staying the number 1 slot. I know they lost to Park Crossing, but they played them really tough. And talking with Coach Knox, this team was down big at the first half and came back and made it respectable in that second half. Pacelli 7-4, lost to Upson Lee, but I still think got a big win over Calvary, and they're going to continue to play good basketball. They take on Westfield. That's pretty much, I think, battle for first place in the region.
Yeah, I agree.
Between them and Westfield. Harris County takes on Pacelli next week, so we'll see.
Excited
Coach
about
Ramsey
that
done.
game.
That should be a lot of fun. So can't wait to see. But here's our top 10 for the girls rankings, and we'll see where the shakeup's going to be. Carver could make a huge leap if they're able to take down Hardaway on Tuesday.
Exciting. We're going to be there on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Russell County's got a big test. They got 3 region games this week, on the road against Pike Road, taking on Park Crossing at home on Thursday, and then home against Rehoboth. And we also have, Pacelli having some big region games, including Brookstone on Friday. Looking at, the Harris County girls, obviously they have got some big region matchups. Right now they are 9-3. They're able to take down Manchester, and they will end up taking on Central of Carrollton and then hosting Jonesboro. And then they get that rematch with Manchester on Saturday on the 17th before they face Pacelli. And then Carver, obviously, big game coming up against Hardaway. It's really going to test their wills, because remember they beat Spencer, Shaw. They beat Shaw. They could have beat Sumter County. They actually, Cam Bass had the ball in her hands, down 60-58, and had a chance to tie it to send it to overtime. So Coach Anson Hunley's team is just going to continue improving, and I can't wait to see them battle against Hardaway at Carver.
All right, let's go to the boys' rankings, Richard, if you don't mind sending them to me. As we move on from boys, we had some big games last week, as I mentioned. Carver Shaw, Spencer at Shaw, Carver at Spencer. We were able to see Pacelli taking on Calvary. And after last week, we got a little bit of a shakeup. Not much. Number 10, Rich, we're going to say right there, Kendrick Cherokees.
Yeah.
They had a chance as they were taking on Sumter County to move up, to get a big win, and end up getting beat by 30 at home. Glenwood, same thing. They played Beulah tough last week, and then on the road at Russell County, the only loss by the game was very competitive, Rich. So Gators are 9-9. They take on Beulah and Lee Scott. I cannot state how big of a week this is
Dadeville
for
on Monday.
Glenwood and Dadeville on Monday on the road. This is a massive week area-wise to get in the playoffs for the Glenwood Gators. Smith Station, they've dropped to 8. That loss to Opelika hurt them a little bit because I honestly thought they had a chance to win a region championship. They take on a big week this week. Central at home, Auburn at home. I'll be there for Friday against Central. They take on Auburn Tuesday. Can't wait to see that one. Calvary, another one. They got a big week this week as well, Richard, as they are going to be taking on at Brookstone. As the Knights, they were able to beat Springwood last week on the road, and then they were able to take down Westfield at home. They are, I think, 1-1 now in region play are the boys and Coach Gordon's team. Yes, 2-1, in region play. 12-4 on the year. They have Brookstone, and then listen to this, at Dothan on Friday. Holy smokes.
Sign me up for
Dothan,
that.
19-1, ranked number 4 in the entire state of Alabama. That will be at Dothan. Then they'll also take on Stewart County on Saturday at Stewart County, winnable game, and then Harris County on Monday. So really the biggest game, obviously, is at Brookstone because that's vying for that number 2 spot behind Pacelli. So there is 7 through 10, Calvary, Smith Station, Glenwood, and Kendrick. Rich.
And I do want to talk about a team that we probably would have at 11, Brookstone. They are 9-9. If they could beat Calvary on Tuesday, I wouldn't see why can't we just put them in the rankings, just because that would be a big quality win, and plus they got a pretty impressive record. But Calvary Christian is going to be tested. They have a very impressive record, but they are going to have some opponents that's going to help their rankings as far as being one of the top teams in the GIAA. And right now the GIAA has them ranked 5th overall, so they would be a playoff team, and I believe they would be hosting a playoff game in that first round because I think that that's how the seeding goes in GIAA basketball. Let's take a look at Smith Station. Obviously, Coach Ingersoll's team, that they are actually 12-6. They did lose to Opelika. That was a tough loss. Having to face Auburn and Central this week, so a big area week for Smith Station. And then, of course, Glenwood's got a big area week on the road against Dadeville. Just seeing Glenwood in action against Russell County, obviously Braylon Alexander is fantastic, but also C.Y. Phillips has improved. Trey Clarity and Tyler Clarity can shoot the ball. Garner is just continuing to improve. And how about Aaron Carter being that post man down the middle? I thought that Glenwood was very impressive, and I think Glenwood's going to have a pretty good showing in area play this week.
Shaw, 7-6, losers to Spencer and Carver, and then defeated Hardaway. They have at Columbus, winnable game on Tuesday, at Kendrick, and then Sumter County on Saturday. If they win all 3 of those games, Shaw's looking like the number 3 seed.
Yeah.
So that Sumter County game is battle for that. And then they'll play Jordan and Sumter County again the next week. So Columbus, Kendrick, and Sumter County all battling Shaw this week. They come in at number 6. Number 5 are the Spencer Green Wave. Really good week for the Green Wave. They took down Sumter County. They also were able to beat Shaw, then lost to Carver only by 11 and came back and made it close.
Yes,
they
they
got
did.
Kendrick at home on Tuesday, at Columbus on Friday, and then Washington County on MLK Day. So 2 winnable games this week to keep up and only say a game behind the Carver Tigers and get to 12 wins. Spencer comes in at number 5. And then let's talk about Russell County. Now, Russell County Warriors have been playing great basketball as of late, Rich, and I've been super impressed by them. Coach Battle was able to get 2 big wins last week against Park Crossing on the road. That was pretty much for first place in the region. And then they were able to beat Glenwood at home. And they also got one more win, Richard. They're actually 14-4. We need to update that.
Yeah, I've already did.
They beat Hardaway, and they beat Park Crossing, and then Glenwood. So they're 14-4. They got Pike Road on the road, and then Park Crossing at home on Thursday, and then Rehoboth on Saturday, Richard. But how about Coach Ronnie Battle's team at 13-4 on the season? And right now, Rich, if you look at the Russell County Warriors, they're on a 10-game winning streak.
Yeah, how
Can you
about that?
believe that?
Yeah.
10 consecutive games in a row, including beating Pacelli, Callaway twice, Hardaway, Park Crossing, Glenwood, Northside, Jordan, and Smith Station. So I've been impressed by Russell County for sure, Richard. So seeing them get to 13-4, give me your thoughts on the rankings.
Well, Russell County started 0-3, and they have been on a heater. Their leading scorer, Antonio Lockhart, had 32 points against Glenwood. I'm excited to see how Russell County is going to fare in area play. Right now, they are 1-0 in area play, but they will be taking on Pike Road, Park Crossing, and Rehoboth. And if you look at, you see our rankings where you got Pacelli right there at 5-6. They have not played a whole lot of games, but they actually had a very good weekend, getting wins over Hazel Green. They actually had a tournament out of Alabama, and I'm trying to
they beat Tanner by 36.
Tanner, that was the team. I was trying to look that up. But
Hazel Green and then
won
Calvert
2
Christian.
games.
Yeah, went 3-0 last week, Richard.
Yeah, went 3-0, and then they will end up taking on Westfield School on Tuesday, and then Brookstone on Friday.
Prattville Saturday, and
Prattville
Carver
Saturday
game on the MLK Showcase.
Cannot wait for that. And
can I tell you why we jumped them, Rich? The biggest reason is I know Russell County beat them head-to-head, but remember how we do our rankings. It's chance to win a state championship. And no offense and no disrespect to Russell County.
Russell County plays in 6A.
In 6A, I don't think they're a top 5 team. They are a top 15, top 10 team, not a top 5 team. And I don't see – it's going to be tough for them to win a state championship. Pacelli, I think they're the favorite. They're back-to-back defending champions. You have to put them over because, remember, it's chance to win in your league. And they, in my opinion, they're the favorite to win it in the GIAA. Number 2, Chatco. They just keep trucking along and doing what they do. Rich got some big wins this past week. They keep looking like, I think, the favorite to win it all. I'm hoping to get Sandy Spill on Sunday's show because we'll be virtual, Rich, and why not have him on then? So next Sunday, we'll try to get on our guy, Sandy Spill. They're 12-1. They were able to beat Sly County. And I think they beat Webster. So 13-1. They got Taylor County on Tuesday. And to be honest with you, Rich, that's a pretty big game. Both teams are undefeated in the region. Taylor County 10-3, 5-0.
Right.
We may have to think about doing that game.
So we've thought about like covering Chatco in their region games. It just doesn't. It's just as far as the schedule goes. I mean,
it's just going to be really tough.
It's going to be tough, but I mean, I could see us doing that game against Macon County. I mean, I'm looking at their region. Yeah, that's going to be a massive showdown with Taylor County and the girls too, because the Taylor County girls have always been one of those powerhouses in single A. But yeah, big win over Sly County. Right now they are 4-0 along with Taylor County in the region.
Now, number 1 and staying number 1 are the Carver Tigers, 10-2. They were able to take down Spencer this past week and Sumter County. Shaw as well. Both Shaw and Sumter on the road beat Spencer at home. They got Hardaway at home on Tuesday, Jordan on Friday, and Northside on Saturday. I think all those games, Richard, may be 40-point beatdowns.
Yeah.
They'll be over with by halftime. But then the game that everybody's circling is next Monday, in which they take on Pacelli. So they get kind of 3 tune-up games before that one this week. They get to kind of bully around Hardaway, Jordan, and Northside. It'll be the first time, though, you made mention to me off air that we'll see Woodson and Xavier Davies battling each other this year.
Yeah,
so that should be fun.
Be at Northside. We'll get to see Carver and Northside for the first time in basketball in a while.
Well, there's our rankings. You see the top 10. We're going to take a break. When we come back from break, we got more here. We'll talk Columbus State and River Dragons. We'll start with Richard and the Dragons first, but we got to pay some bills. Don't go anywhere. It's the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show.
Houlihan serves fresh, handcrafted dishes made just the way you like them. Juicy burgers, sizzling steaks, crisp salads, and shareable appetizers set the table for every appetite. Relax with friends, celebrate special moments, or enjoy a casual night out. Houlihan's delivers great food, great drinks, and great times, with 2 locations in Columbus, downtown at the Marriott Hotel and on Sidney Simons Boulevard at the Doubletree Hotel.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
At Jack Houston Memorial Hospital, our focus is you. Even though we performed more than 1,300 joint replacements last year, we treat you like you are our only patient. Your surgeon explains your joint replacement, so nothing is a surprise. Our team knows your treatment plan, and we work together to get you back on your feet again. That's why our hospital is recognized year after year as a leader in patient satisfaction and quality of care. Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. Excellence, always.
Welcome in. That's Rich. I'm Thrift. It's the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show. All right, Rich. We were just talking off air. Kind of been a tough go at it to start the new year for one of our local professional teams.
Yeah.
We really don't. It's because we have so much work we get into. We haven't really talked about them. They've also had a great season. But we're going to make this segment about the River Dragons and Columbus State. Chris, if you got any Columbus State things you want to throw up when we get to them, you can. Rich, let's talk River Dragons. What do you got for us?
Well, first of all, they're on a 6-game losing streak. They actually lost tonight at the Atkins Arena in Athens, Georgia, to the Athens Rock Lobsters.
That's a bucket list, apparently, to go to that.
Yeah, that's what I was told. They actually had 2 heartbreaking games over the weekend at the Columbus Civic Center against the Blue Ridge Bobcats. On Friday, they lost to Blue Ridge 5-4 in overtime. And then they lost on Saturday 5-4. And other news, one of their star players, although we're happy for him, but we're sad that we're losing him, Ryan Hunter is going to be on loan to the ECHL South Carolina Stingrays. So we wish Ryan Hunter the best of luck. But, yeah, that's going to be a huge loss because he was the leading goal scorer for the Columbus River Dragons. I know we had Jerome Boom Boom Richard on the Sports Vision's morning show, and I know that he's going to try to get this team. This team's going to rally around, like, trying to finish the season strong and try to get a playoff berth because, right now, yeah, the 6-game losing streak and looking at the standings in the Continental Division, they are still in 3rd place. Right now, Athens has got 70 points. They are in 1st place, followed by the Monroe Moccasins. That's got 69 points, but the Columbus River Dragons have 45 points. And the next team in the Continental Division is the Twin City Thunderbirds. It's got 33. So looking like the Columbus River Dragons will still make the playoffs, but they might end up going on the road or having the home ice.
What are some of the things you want to see in improvement-wise for the River Dragons as they head into the playoff stretch, Rich? And do you think they have a chance of making the playoffs this year?
Yeah, I do think they have a chance to make the playoffs. I just want to see them finish, especially when they have these leads in games. I want to see them finish strong. I want to see solid goaltending. I just want to see the young players coming together, mixing with the veterans like the Alex Storjahans of the world and the Kirk Underwoods. It's been in the River Dragons organization for years. But you guys got rookies like Ryan Galvin, Tyler Barrow is a young player, Brody Thornton. I just want to see them just continue to play well. And they've had some injuries. Nathan Bockwell has been injured. I mean, we've had Matt Stosia, who's been injured, and Brian Moore. So it's tough when you have injuries, but I think that the River Dragons are going to be fine. I'm actually looking at the schedule to see where their next home game is, just in case you're interested in coming out to the Columbus Civic Center. They actually will go on the road this weekend to take on the Indiana Sentinels, but they are back home at the Columbus Civic Center January 23rd, where they will take on the Baton Rouge Zydeco, and then they will be back at the Civic Center on Saturday taking on the Zydeco.
I'm going to tell you a team that isn't struggling, and that's the Columbus State women's basketball program. 6-1 in the conference, 12-2 overall. They're on a 5-game winning streak right now. Lataya Reeves is absolutely sensational, looking like she may be Conference Player of the Year. They just beat South Carolina Beaufort on Saturday, also beat USC Aiken on Wednesday. They won at home 79-75. They got Georgia College coming up. I've been impressed with what I've seen from Columbus State University, especially to start the new year as they are 2-0. What have you seen so far from Columbus State? And again, right now looking like a team that could win a Peach Belt Conference regular season championship, Richard. I'm looking at the standings right now. They're a game behind North Georgia.
Yeah, 6-1.
6-1, 12-2. Right now, North Georgia's 12-5 overall. What do you think about Coach Hauser's
I was going to say that. What a
Cougars?
job. What a job by Coach Hauser coaching up these girls. Look at the players they lost last year. Amber Abuzbe and Alana Rawls. I mean, that was a lot of scoring and a lot of leadership. Lataya Reeves, who had a fantastic year last year, is the leading scorer right now with 17.6 points a game. I love the play from Alana Hankerson and Nakia Williams. And if you look at their schedule, you talked about them being on the road next couple of games. They will travel to Americus on January the 17th to the Storm Dorm to take on Georgia Southwestern. Their next home game won't be until January 21st at the Lumpkin Center, where they will take on newcomer to the Peach Belt, Middle Georgia State University.
Yeah, so we'll see how it plays out for them, but looking forward to seeing the rest of the season. Sorry, I lost my train of thought because I had the scoring leaders. Yep, and leading the conference in scoring is Lataya Reeves, 16.4. She's ahead of North Georgia's Avery Jones at 16.2. So right now, the favorite to win Player of the Year this year and the Peach Belt, Richard, is Lataya Reeves from Columbus State University. Now, let's talk about the boys. The men's program, Coach Moore having that historic year last year. 10-5, 4-3 in conference play. They did lose on Saturday to USC Beaufort. They did beat Aiken on Wednesday by 1. They got Georgia College again in Centennial Center, as you made mention, on Wednesday, and then Saturday at home. On the road at Georgia Southwestern. So they'll same schedule. Peach Belt games against both Georgia College and Georgia Southwestern. If you look at the standings, North Georgia 5-2, Lander 5-2, and Georgia College and State at 5-2. Columbus State 4-3. They're right there, Richard. We're talking about they're one game back of the lead of that 4-3 team tie. They're able to take down Georgia College and then able to beat Georgia Southwestern, which they're tied with at 4-3. Columbus State back up in the standings. By the end of this week, who knows? Columbus State could be tied for first place in the Peach Belt.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at the statistics, we talked about Jared Adderton. It's hard to replace a 20-point-a-game score, but Marlon Smith's done a good job, Rich. He is averaging 17.3 points per game.
That's very impressive. And by the way, Jaden Hall coming back from injury is one of those leaders that they need as far as that leadership on the court and just being that floor general. I think when healthy, this Columbus State team can compete with the best of the best in the Peach Belt Conference. And we got a tough one on the road against Georgia College in Milledgeville, and then not too far, about an hour away against Georgia Southwestern. And then they could start that run and try to get some big wins, because I was looking at some of their losses, very close losses. South Carolina Beaufort, remember, they lost to them in the Peach Belt Conference tournament last year. This was the defending Peach Belt Conference tournament champion. So that's not a bad loss. They only lost by 2.
Jaden Hall, by the way, back. He's putting up 12.4 a game. Jordan Mitchell's had a good year this year. Lee Langstaff, I saw the dunk he had on social media, Richard.
Yep.
He's putting up 9.6. He's been a great addition. So we'll see how the rest of the year plays out for Columbus State, but both boys and the girls programs are right in the thick of it. The girls, I think, one of the favorites, and the boys, one of the 5 or 6 teams that potentially could win it all this year. Now, let's talk about CVCC Athletics, because they're home on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. How about the boys program getting a win last week? So congratulations to Coach Mo. It's been a tough year this year for them as they played a really tough schedule, Richard. But, hey, listen, they're in conference play now. These are the games that matter. They're able to take down Marion Military. Let's talk about the boys. They're 4-13 on the year, Rich. They lost to Coastal on Thursday. Did beat Marion. They got Wallace tomorrow, Community College out of Selma, and then Bevel State this week. So Bevel State, Wallace, they only have 2 home games this year, though, Rich. Yeah. What are you seeing?
Yeah, only 2 home games in this month for the Pirates. And, they're just going to continue to try to get everybody back healthy. Remember, Willie Townsend was out for a little bit. But, yeah, what a win for them to, I know they haven't had the season that they've wanted. They're only 4-13. But getting a win over Marion Military, that was a big win. They did lose to Coastal Alabama. Can't wait to see them play Wallace Community College tomorrow.
Coastal Alabama, by the way, Richard, ranked number 1. They're 5-1. Yeah. CVCC, they're 2-3, Rich. Right now they are tied, I think, for 5th place. They do take on Wallace, who's 3-2. You beat Wallace at home. Able to go on the road to get a big win as well. Richard, this team can very easily by the end of the year. Again, I don't worry about overall record. I know it's 4-13, but again, in division play, 2-3.
Yeah, it's all about the division play.
Who knows what could happen?
Absolutely
with them this year, Richard. And we'll talk about some of those leading scorers. Obviously, we know about Willie Townsend. He's been great, Richard. Let's talk about some of the other key players for them for CVCC. By the way, I want to shout out our guy Robert Edmond, who is always the voice of. We have made him now the de facto voice of CVCC, Richard. But with that being said, stats, looking up top players on the team right now. That include Willie Townsend, as I may mention, Jared Days-Jean. He actually is a leading scorer along with KJ Canty as well. Shiflett has been playing really good ball. So I'll see if those guys, Des Williams, who came back from injury, is playing well and doing a good job too, Rich.
Yeah, you mentioned them. And I was very impressed when I was on the call with Robert Edmonds. Days-Jean, who averaging 10.7 points a game, is also the leading rebounder on the team as well. So, they've looked good so far, and I can't wait to see them in action against Selma tomorrow.
Girls lost to Central Georgia Tech at Central Georgia Tech by 5, then beat Coastal Alabama by 13. They take on Wallace this Monday, and they won't play again until the following Monday. If you look at the standings, CVCC girls, who won the division championship last year at state championship, made it to the national tournament. Coach Richardson's team 3-1 in region play, 9-6 overall. Snead State is that number 1 team, and LB Wallace behind them. Also, Wallace Community College has got 1 loss. They're 2-1. So tomorrow's game against Wallace is going to be a big one for CVCC. And looking at their team and who some of their leading scorers are for this year, and their start includes Lacey Thomas. She's been good. London Von Arsdale and Jada Landers, who is returning from last year, that can fill it up. Lacey Thomas, though, is one of the best in the state. Coach Richardson team, though, Rich, still have a lot to play for. One of the top teams in the division. Got a big game tomorrow against Wallace.
Yeah, and I'm impressed with those role players, too, like Michaela Bass and Cameron DaCosta. I think that Coach Richardson's team has got a team that, is still young. They're still learning just to play with each other and just have that confidence, especially when they try to tackle this tough region schedule. I'm looking at the region right now. Snead State currently undefeated. They are 3-1 in the region, along with Lorraine B. Wallace. So this game against Wallace Community College Selma, which they are 2-1, by the way. So it's a big division game coming up tomorrow.
All right, Rich. As we will wrap up CVCC and Columbus State. We'll take a break. When we come back from break, we'll show you the trailer for Forged in the Valley with Mike Frost when we come back after commercial, and then wrap it up with where we're going to be this week on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, everybody. This is DJ Jones with the Sports Visions Morning Show for the best in local, regional, and national sports news. Weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
You can find the Sports Visions Morning Show on Facebook, YouTube. Also, you can listen to us on Apple and Spotify by typing in the Sports Visions Morning Show, and download the Sports Visions radio app right now in your app store today.
Sports Visions 92.1. We are your hometown sports guys.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Carol Purdue in Phoenix City today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back, everyone. Thrift Barringer, Richard Holdridge, Colin Scroggins, two new studios. We have a new thing we're dropping, Richard, and we'll have the full interview next week. It's called Forge in the Valley. Mike Frost will be talking about things outside of what happens on the court, the field, wherever they're playing, or wherever the game is, the wrestling mat, and it gets the behind-the-scenes look of it. And so we're excited about dropping the first trailer that this will happen next week. Forge in the Valley, Mike Frost. Watch the trailer. How long is it?
In a city shaped by time, there's a school that has spent more than a century shaping people. Columbus High School opened its doors in 1890, the oldest school in Columbus, Georgia. A place where excellence isn't suggested, it's demanded. Known for its uncompromising academic standards, Columbus High is a liberal arts magnet, ranked 78th in the nation and second in the state of Georgia, according to U.S. News and World Report. Here, pressure isn't avoided, it's embraced. And when competition arrives, the students have a saying, a warning meant to travel across the mat, the court, the field. Blue Hell. It's not a location, it's a declaration. A way of telling opponents they're about to be tested, that what lies ahead won't be easy or comfortable. For Ethan Sequoy, the idea isn't just shouted from the stands, it's lived every single day. Wrestling is honest, brutally so. No teammates to hide behind, no shortcuts, just discipline, repetition, and accountability. Match after match, moment after moment, Ethan was forged under pressure through exhaustion and in quiet hours when no one was watching. At a school where minds are sharpened and standards are unforgiving, Ethan learned that strength isn't only physical, it's mental, emotional, earned. And when the moment finally came, under the brightest lights with everything on the line, Ethan Sequoy stood alone on the mat, the product of years of work, forged in the valley that demands more from its own. This isn't a story of a state champion. It's a story about pressure, pride, and what happens when someone embraces the fire instead of running from it. This is Ethan Sequoy.
Can't wait to watch that, Richard, with Mike Frost, and he'll be a part of the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show. So good effort, good work by both those two, and looking forward to seeing Forge in the Valley with Mike Frost. First interview, Ethan Secoy. This week we got tomorrow CVCC, Smith Station Coach Show, and dropping sideline stories with Kim and Kelly. On Tuesday we got so many basketball games: Westwood at Pacelli, Auburn at Smith Station, Beulah at Glenwood, Calvary at Brookstone, Hardaway at Carver girls, Kendrick at Spencer boys. Georgia Alabama Sports Live show on Wednesday, Rich. Thursday, Park Crossing and Russell County basketball. Friday, Pacelli at Brookstone, Central at Smith Station, Glenwood, Lee Scott. We call that Rivalry Saturday. Rivalry Friday, Richard. Looking forward to that one. Saturday, Rehoboth at Russell County and LaGrange and Troup County. So 4 rivalry games in 2 days. And then we got Georgia Alabama Sports Live show and the MLK Day events that we have from wrestling and basketball. So busy week we're going to be having, including that Tuesday, a ton of basketball games. Same with Friday and Saturday. It's pretty much when the basketball schedule is. We figured it out now, Richard. It's Tuesday, Friday, Saturday for most teams. Some Thursdays, no Wednesdays, and very rarely Monday.
Yeah, it's a grind. That basketball schedule is a lot of teams that we cover and a lot of games, but that's what we live for, and we're just excited that we get to call these incredible games.
Well, we've had a lot of fun here tonight. Thank y'all so much for watching. Subscribe, like, tune in tomorrow to the Sports Visions Morning Show. We will have something new and improved for you. Looking forward to being there tomorrow morning, so check it out. We got a surprise for you at 6 o'clock in the morning, Rich. Should be a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun here tonight on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show. From Richard Aldridge, Chris Gates, I'm Thurp Behringer. See y'all next time on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show.